Been a interesting week, huh? A lot has been going on.
Oh my God, Fenecia.
Where do we begin?
Where do we begin? Well, little intro. It's week 3 of Chicks No Dicks. And the purpose of us getting together is to talk football, which is coming to a close, a very sad and boring close, and to talk life and politics and to encourage all of you out there not to be a dick. That's
None.
not to be a
No,
dick. No dicks allowed.
none.
As we like to say, no dick pics, no dick out of your mouth. If you want to take dick in your mouth, that's up to you. It's not for everybody.
Love it, love it, love it.
All right, so did you make it through with last week's game?
I'm coming around. As you see, I decided to wear my hoodie today. This is what I wore last Sunday, and I wore it Monday. I did not want to take it off. I finally took it off on Tuesday, and now I'm wearing it again for this video. But we've had a great season. And we're looking forward to next season. We're not giving up hope. We're Josh Allen is going to bring us a ring. No doubts about it. It's about when,
Yeah.
and we have to improve. But honestly, Janessa, this was our reconstruction year as far as like our redevelopment and building year. We just got new players. So we did not expect to go this far. So I can expect us to be 10 times better than next year. We're going to outsmart the refs next time. Mahomes, no, we're not worried about Mahomes anymore. He's not a thing. He's not on our level anymore. He needs the refs to help him win. It's fine, but we're going to outsmart the refs, and we need to get better with our defense.
Yeah.
And Allen, he's literally carrying the city on his back. So I saw the pressure on him as he was playing, but he still did a phenomenal job. He's a great person, and he's determined to bring us a ring. And I truly believe that. And Josh Allen, we trust. So there's that.
There is that. Yeah, that was really sad. I saw the funniest meme afterwards of like one of those Patrick Mahomes, like where he's like, with his tongue out and his whole shebangading. And he has his jersey, and the meme was like, Mahomes chose number 15 because that's how much you get penalized every time you touch him.
Every single time. It's insane. It's insane.
I do have to say that, I was texting people, the refs are rigged, blah, blah, blah. But then suddenly the Chiefs started getting penalized. But
Mhm.
it is weird what Mahomes does. Like he'll put on the brakes before going out of bounds and like step out of bounds and engine. Like it feels like he's a bit manipulative.
He is. He's a
Uh,
great quarterback. I will not take that from him. He's a
no,
great,
you can't take it.
I mean, obviously number speaks for itself, but he is babied, and favored. 50% of the cause. And if it's always in favors for the Chiefs, like what broke my heart is Josh when he didn't get that first down. My boy had that. I've watched every
I mean,
angle video. He had first down, Janessa.
well, there
The
were two
ref
terrible calls. That
was
call, and then
horrible.
that other ball was inccomplete.
Janessa.
I
So
mean,
I'm going to
everybody
admit he
saw
made a
it touch
mistake.
the ground. It
It
touched the
touched the
ground.
ground, and
Yeah,
he didn't have possession of the ball. Like he caught, like we originally caught the ball. He
yeah.
came in and it touched the ground. But the only reason why they gave that to him because they scored a touchdown right after, and they knew if they would have reversed, they took that call back, it would have been over for them. They would have been field goal range. That was the biggest mistake right there. Obviously, we're mad at Kincaid for, missing that catch. He should have caught the ball. Honestly, some people say it was Allen, Kincaid, however, but that ball right there where they did not call it an incomplete pass, it wasn't an interception, but the fact they did not call it as an incomplete pass, that was the changer right there. It was
It
that.
changed everything. And then yes, that fourth down, like, you heard the commentators. I think it was Tony Romo. Was it
Yeah.
Tony Romo? Yeah, he
Uh,
was just like, and they always bring in that guy from LA, whatever his name is.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, that both of those calls terrible. I'm so sorry. I felt I'm bummed. Where's my Lions Bills Super Bowl?
I was at a bar, Genessa. I booked my flight in a bar. I'm like, I'm going because I went to Buffalo to watch the game. I said, I'm going back to New York. I cannot stay here. I cannot do this. I'm going. And it was this kid. He was 27 years old. He came up to us. He was like, I can't keep doing this anymore. As far as we
No.
moved over and over, we just felt bad. Like, we're 30 plus years, bro. Like, how do you think we feel about it?
It's
So,
brutal. I mean, it's worse to be a Lions fan.
oh, yes, definitely.
And I'll say it again and again, losing on the 1 yard line because you throw the ball instead of giving it to Marshawn Lynch. It's like active trauma.
So the thing is, ESPN, I believe they posted it today or yesterday on Instagram, and I was reading the post. And before you text me, I was going to send that to you. I said, you know what? This is so traumatizing because everyone is still talking about that. Why would you throw the ball and for the ball to be intercepted on? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Now that
No, that was like
bad play.
minus Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris. I mean, it used to just be Hillary Clinton and the Seahawks. Now it's Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris. They're tied.
Yep.
And then the Seahawks on the 1 yard line. Like such huge, like can't get it out of your system
Yeah. Yeah.
feeling,
Yep.
traumatic
Yep.
feeling. Yeah. So, well, I'm not that interested in the game, I have to tell you. I hope the Eagles win.
Me too. Saquon, he deserves it. He's the only person that can bring us hope. The
Yeah.
only person.
Yeah.
I'm not watching the Super Bowl. A lot of Bills fans are boycotting, and a lot of other people are too. Like we have a great fan, a lot of people that support me. Like, no, this is it's not rigged, but they are going to call it in the Chiefs' favors. Nobody want to watch that. We want to play football. We want to watch a real gritty, dirty game. People fighting their souls and heart out, not the refs cheating from home. We don't want to watch that. That's not football.
I'm still going to watch it.
I'm not watching it. I
Okay.
want to watch Kendrick Lamar's halftime show, but guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wait till it's done and I'm gonna go to YouTube and watch it because somebody's gonna put it up there. I'm
Yeah.
not nonsense. They won't get my views, so we'll see. Hopefully they see a plummet in their reviews and I mean their ratings and we'll see.
That's going to be an interesting halftime.
It's gonna be good. Don't get me
Oh,
wrong,
yeah.
it's great, but I'm not condoning in it.
All right. All right. So why don't we shift to politics then? Have you been paying attention?
Have I have no choice.
Well,
What do
I
you
guess I should have started by saying Happy Black History Month.
Happy
Still
Black
in,
Month.
yeah, it's like, by the way, it's ridiculous that we only have months, but what the hell?
I know. It's insane. It's insane. It's so insane. What's funny though? Even though he rolled back initiatives with DEI, Black History Month, and things like that, statistics shows that the top group who benefited from DEI programs were white women.
Yeah.
And most white women, more than half of white women voted for him. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like we thought about it. I'm sitting there looking like, Black people, we've been at a disadvantage forever, for the longest. And I hate to say this, and I know that a lot of people may not agree with this. For people like you and I, who are the minorities, like, like I'm Black, you're a lesbian, queer, we the minorities, right? But if Kamala would have got in office, we would have got more backlash than anybody, even though our rights still would have been protected, but we would have had to deal with his Proud Boys, right? Now that he's in office, everybody is feeling it. Everybody's getting hit by it.
Right. That's right. That's a really interesting perspective. So I was just on, I'm still here in Vail. So I was just on a chairlift with a guy from Mexico whose business is that he exports lettuce. 90% of his business is to export lettuce to the United States. And he's kind of freaking out because 25% tariffs, who's going to buy his lettuce?
Who's going to buy his lettuce?
Nobody. I mean, but the bottom line of all of this, I've done so much reading and trying to, I have my blog, my Substack, Easy Activism, and the whole purpose of that, there's no such thing as easy activism. What a misnomer. I mean, activism is super hard work, but the whole purpose is to give people actions and hope and things they can do so that we can preserve democracy. Our democracy, I do think democracy will withstand this, I hope. I mean, but the suffering, the amount of energy and the amount of suffering that we have to endure because the Koch brothers 50 years ago became libertarians and decided that they only like rich people, and that the only place there should be government is in housing and everything else should be deregulated. It is so damaging. And they're erasing things like it's very easy to break things. I think about when I do a jigsaw puzzle, it takes a long time, not when it's done and I just put it in the box and it's all broken apart. No time at all.
Yeah.
We want to build things, like we want to build societies where people have rights. We want to build opportunities where color and gender and sexual orientation and, gender meaning gender identification and birth gender. Who cares?
I cannot wait till we get to that point, because we have to look at that way too. I was talking to someone about, sexuality. Me, I'm pansexual, but I don't advocate, not so much I don't advocate, I don't put that, I don't come and say like, oh, I'm in this community, even though those communities like the LGBTQ community needed to be created to be where we are today, but now stigmas are placed to it. And I can't wait till we get to the point, like, what is gay, what is straight? It's just humans having human experience, and like in a human, like what is wrong with it? Why is it a thing? Why are we placing these things around it? It's causing more division, and they using that against us. But I cannot wait till we come to a point. It's like, you know what? None of this even matter. Gender, race, sexual, none of this even matter. We are a human. We're fighting for a human race, and we all
Right.
want equality. And like this had to happen for us to get here. Because again, it's not make America great again. He's making his cabinet great, and the ones who voted for him, the ones who, we're not going to talk down on them because, I'm very upset at them. However, now you guys get to feel the impact, and hopefully you guys get on the right side of history as well. So that's.
There's so many points that you made that I want to comment on, but I have these friends because I'm Jewish as well. I have these Jewish friends that voted because they voted for Trump for Israel. And I do have this rage desire to be like, you happy now? Like really to like flip out on all of them and be like, I mean, move to Israel. If you want to vote for Israel, move to Israel and vote for Israel. Israel will be happy to have you. You can make Aliyah. Go do that. Don't compromise my rights or my brother and sister's rights because of a country that you don't live in. Makes me so mad. But the other thing I was thinking about is that, from a religious point of view, like, and sexual, like, of course, Jesus Christ was queer. There's just no way he was. In my opinion, Judas turned on him because Judas was a jilted lover. Like, Jesus was like, I'm just not that into you, Judas. It's nice that you always want to give me head, but too much teeth. And Judas was just so jealous of the other disciples and turned on Jesus. I mean, why else would you do that?
Why else would you do it?
You only do that out of jealousy and spite.
Yep.
That is a jilted lover. I've seen it time and time again. But, for some reason, the cultural narrative has made it okay to be afraid of people of color, to be afraid of people that are queer, to be afraid of, I guess, what women. I mean, it all has to stem from fear.
Yep.
And he's a mob boss. Everybody's been bought. And Elon Musk has abused ketamine to such a point that he's just completely delusional at this point. Like he fried his brain. He's not a sane person any longer. When
No,
people talk about how different he is,
you gotta be insane though, to be that type of person. Like you really have to, no marbles left.
oh
You
yeah.
dimension, that metaverse that they were building, that's where he's at. He's
Yeah.
not healthy.
No, I mean, the interesting thing is right now that Bill Gates is coming out with this, like he's on a remorse tour. Like he is going out publicly, he's being interviewed, talking about how sad he is about his divorce and how that's his biggest regret. And he's actually having something human. I mean, I worked at Microsoft in the
Mhm.
early Bill Gates days. Well, I was in the mid days, right as Windows Explorer came out, Internet Explorer. No, Windows 95. That's when I was there. Right when that came out. And it was like a robotic place to be. And now it's a more human place. It became more human, but he seems more human while everybody else is like screwing things up. And AI is not our friend, my friend. AI.
We know that. But AI is so long, Janessa. It's
Mhm.
utilize it, it's how you use it. It's been
I
around.
know there's good to it, but I read this piece this morning about how this investment in AI, the exclusivity of AI is the answer for everything.
Mm.
Pretty crushing. And is it going to solve this problem of people hating on each other?
Just like social media isn't our friend, but somehow we use it for the greater good. And I think that's how we need to approach it. Social media is terrible for us. You ever watch the documentary about social media and how the executives don't even allow their children to have it, just what it does to us. Like we're literally, it's programming us and making us believe that this is what we like. It's just all data points. And a lot of things are great for us, but social media helps us come together, band together from all places throughout the world. Social media brings people together, bring funds together, bring awareness to a point where that's why I think we are indestructible in this time right now because we have too much knowledge. We're too smart as human beings. And yeah, we think AI is going to take over with robots and all that stuff. We're too smart. We come together.
The only thing I worry about AI is the energy consumption of it. Like
We're
the things that I worry about, when I'm not obsessing on my football team or things like that, and I'm actually worrying about real world things, I worry about the earth. But I don't worry about the earth as earth. I worry about Homo sapiens, life on earth.
yeah.
Like
Um,
I'm looking at the ski mountain. It's like 50 degrees out and it's February 2nd. That
yeah.
that is weird.
It's a lot though. Everything goes into it. So if we're going to look at just technology like that, then we need to look at consumption, materials. It's a lot. It's really, really a lot. Even like the software that we're using right now, it still consume a lot of energy. Like these data warehouses, like take up so many,
I
like how many
know.
that's in these data warehouses that consume all this data that put together and make these it's technology in general. It's technology in general. And I don't know if there's a hope for it. I hope that they start creating like governance and safety and what is it? I don't know if it's like whatever it is for technology, sustainability and practices and stuff like that around AI to kind of help us with energy consumption. Maybe the clouds, things like that
Not,
can.
I mean, this cast of characters doesn't care about that. I mean, I'm like, go to Mars, have a good time. It takes you 7 months to get there,
Yeah,
and then it's not going to be habitable, but have fun.
but that's
Go
it's a
plant a flag on Mars. The thing I can't understand about now is why would you want to not do the greater good? If you have, like, if I had that much money or just more money, I would just help people all the time.
Well, that's why people like us need to learn how to, if you can't beat them, you have to join them and you have to be smart about it. And that's why somebody told me a long time ago, it's not, we still need politics the government. We need all those things, but we need social response, like companies that's really embedded on social responsibility. Do you not know all these people? Like, you think about Elon Musk, $44 billion that he bought for Twitter, right? You got this, but honestly, banks loaned that money to him. And that's another conversation. I was reading an article about that. It's insane. But can you imagine having that money and allocating that towards charities,
That would
funding?
be amazing. I mean, the billionaires that are almost collectively trillionaires. I mean, Elon Musk will be a trillionaire in our lifetime. Whatever that means is like, I can't even grasp what that really means. But the thing is that he could solve every single ail facing us. He could end hunger. He could end homelessness. He could create climate solutions. He could, he could pay for raising the minimum wage. He paid zero Tesla taxes.
That's insane.
Zero.
It's insane.
It's insane. It's so broken. I mean, Wolf, my wife, says all the time, like, maybe we just need to break everything. I hate that idea because I know as somebody that has built things, it's so hard to build things. It takes so much more time than you think it's going to take.
Do we break them, or do we figure out how to utilize things that's already put in place?
They are actually breaking the systems of governance. They are erasing that. When you get rid of, when you are like, see you later, World Health Organization, when you erase pages on the Center for Disease Control, HIV, COVID, all the, we're going to have another pandemic. They're saying that the bird flu is going to be really devastating, but who knows? There won't be any dissemination of information. I
Not it's
just don't understand why you want people to suffer.
Well, but that's why, going back to we always talk about, that's why we have to build our own communities. Like, we can no longer use them. They are not any resources for us.
Right.
They're like we focus in our mind on the CDC, which is like you said, disseminating information. However, we have people who are doctors. We know people who are doctors. We know why are we have the people that we need already. We built this. We did this as a number. They're just managing it. But we built it. We put in this work. We don't need them. We can create our own information, our own hubs, our own communities, and to combat them. I mean, we cannot look at it as like it's just over. We cannot. We have the
I
power.
think it's over. I mean, I think it's exhausting,
Yes,
but
but
I don't think it's over. Just like you have hopes. I mean, I think one day the Seahawks might return to the Super Bowl. It's not anytime soon. They only had one player in the Pro Bowl, but you know, things happen. Maybe next year is the Bills Lions Super Bowl.
maybe
Who knows? Who knows?
there's a famous paraphrase it, but Dr. Martin Luther King said, he afraid that he led his people into a burning house, right? I don't where I can't think of where he came from, what's speech or book I was reading, but how we have to look at things differently, right? And he was talking about integration, like, because he was fighting against segregation. And now putting like Black people, it's like, oh, we should have our own, we should do this, Black on this. But King saw it differently. But now he was like, I'm afraid I left my people into a burning house. Well, I feel like the burning house that he was, and I tell people all the time, like, and I'm very optimistic. I tell people all the time, people are made, like, you got to think of us as gold, right? When you burn gold, what do? You refine it. You remove all the purity, the impurities, and it become more valuable. And that's how I look at it, like with the burning house, like integration was it. A lot of people can say it wasn't great for Black people, but now that we understand these systems, what can we do with this information? I feel like that was just society and in general. Like, we're in a burning house right now, but
Mhm.
we're burning the old ways to build up the new. And that's how we got to look at it.
So what do you think people should do?
I think people should band together. And, I feel like if I'm being the optimistic person that I am, we're all on this earth, not to only enjoy it, but to take care and look after each other. So
Absolutely.
that you do great, that you do well in, that you can, provide. This is a time for us. We're in history right now. Someone said, make sure you study this time because this is going to be in a history book. So what did they do back then? What did they figured it out. They started organizations, coalitions, they built businesses. This is our time to start building. You know, there's a saying with the stock market, when people are hungry, fair when people are hungry, and be hungry when people are fearful. Right now, people are fearful. And what they're doing is they're hungry. They're taking advantage of us. We need to be just as hungry for the right things as well and not be fearful. Like we can't be afraid. We got to keep fighting. Like, why are we here at this moment, at this point, you know? So I'm excited about this. Like, okay, you know, I'm a person like, oh, okay, you beat, like when Kamala lost, I was so upset. I'm like, you know what? Let's figure this out. Let's make this better because I don't like to lose. So I'm in it to win it. That,
Are
you
you
know,
going to run for office?
who knows, you know, I don't have it in me to run for office, but I'll support whoever will and do whatever I need to do in my position. I sure enough will, you know, so we'll see. But I got hope. I really do. And we just need to remain hopeful. And we need to
All
be
right. Well,
any
I'm taking it. I'm taking it. So our concluding message for today's Chicks No Dicks. She got to have hope.
gotta
You have
have
to be hopeful.
hope and
We're alchemists right now. We're turning metals into fine, valuable materials. And just don't be exhausted. Like there's no time for exhaustion.
no one to rest.
No, no one to rest. No one to watch football. So what do you think the score will be?
And I said, that's something I cannot, you know, I don't even care. I just hope Saquon run all through that field and back and forth to the get multiple touchdowns on them, run right through their defense. I don't even care what it is. I hope Saquon had like 5 touchdowns or something like that. And the Chiefs, we know their run game isn't that great. So hopefully I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, the Eagles are strong. I'm sad it's the Eagles. I have a lot of friends who are Eagles fans, so bless you, my friends. But that's not who I wanted.
Anything to stop the three-peat. I don't care who it is.
Anything to stop the three-peat. And we mean that about you too, you motherfucker, Trump. No three-peat for
Yes,
you either.
for sure.
All right. Thank you all.